No bread. Let's make some bread. So what we're going to need? We're going to need sugar, plain flour, or if you're in America, flour, yeast, fast-acting yeast, more bread flour, mixing bowl. Because I'm doing 2 loaves, 2 mixing bowls. A 3-pound loaf tin. So, just a quick note about this 3-pound loaf tin. This is a 3-pound loaf tin. This is a 3-pound cake tin. And I realise that some of you may not have either of these. But you've probably got one of these, where it's just a baking tray, you know, cookie chips on it. And I'm going to do 1 loaf using one of these. Okay, didn't mention it before, but salt, a pinch of salt. Reset your scales. $500 grams of plain flour. Teaspoon of sugar. So that's a basic mix. All we need now is 1 sachet of fast-acting yeast, a little bit of vegetable oil, I like to use olive oil, and some warm-ish water. Your water needs to be tepid, which means warmish. Not cold, and definitely not hot, otherwise you'll basically kill your fast-acting yeast. So, 500 grams of plain flour, 500 mils of warmish water. And what we do is put that in there. All of it. Cover it with a cloth and leave it for 5 minutes. So after about 5 minutes, yeast should have dissolved. Give it another stir. Take your big spoon. Just give the flour a little mix. Now make a little well in the middle. I actually don't know why. And then slowly pour in a little bit of the mixture, a touch of vegetable oil, slowly mix it in with your spoon. Don't try and do it all at once, it gets a bit messy. And it should start to come together. So I've been slowly mixing it, slowly add in the water, and you might notice that I haven't used it all up, and that's why you don't pour it all in at the in one go. Otherwise you could make your mixture a little bit too wet, and you don't want it too wet. And this is a little sticky, a little too wet. So I'm just gonna chuck in a handful of flour. Well, that was 2, but it was only about 1 handful of flour. And just mix it in so you get a nice textured dough. Okay. So, didn't need to do that. Just get your hands in after this point. Just move it around. So this is about ready to start kneading. Okay, let's get set up for that. Well, a well floured area, stick your dough. Now the more flour you put on here, the more flour is going to stick to your dough, so it will change it. Now for the fun part, kneading. And it needs to be gentle. You don't have to work it out too hard. Just fold and roll, fold and roll back. The odd stretch every now and then, but don't rip it. Don't rip the. Everything is gentle. Now you could be doing this for 10 minutes. So, it's a good time to mention that when you're doing this, make sure your hands are clean. Make sure you haven't just changed the oil on your car or changed the sharpen the chain on your chainsaw, because that'll go all into your dough. And another thing is, try not to use hand cream before you do this either, because you're just mixing it into your dough. That said, we're going to be cooking this at 200 degrees centigrade, so we'll kill just about everything. Yeah, not poor Hollywood. Right. A little bit of olive oil, vegetable oil, and then chuck it in, and then Cover it over and leave it somewhere warm so it doubles in size. Make sure this is damp. I like dusting the flour. Right, well, this is going to go to waste. Get the corners, especially in your loaf tin. Doesn't matter so much on this one. Okay, plain flour bread. Take it out. Oh, that's lovely. Woohoo! Because this is plain flour and not bread flour, it needs a little bit of a redo. Stretch. That's better. Don't rip it, especially now. But don't overdo it either. Right, make the shape that you want it to be. Just roll the bottom into itself. Find its own way. And then leave it to prove a little bit longer on your tray, like that. So this is ready to go in. So just a couple of score marks. Ready, put them in the oven, 200 degrees centigrade on an electric fan oven. And the brown bread. For about 25 minutes. Alright, see you in 25 minutes. Right. Yep. Oh, looking good. Okay, let's get these out. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's turned out well. And now, quick bottom check. You often get to say that, do you? Now that needs a little bit longer. them too. So I'm going to put them back in without the tins. That's too great. Give it 5 minutes. Alright, see you in a tick. Okay. Let's get these out. These are definitely ready. Lovely. Oh, and this looks great. Right. So there you go. Brown loaf, white loaf made with plain flour, and because we had the oven on, we made a fruit cake as well. So good use of the oven. And I enjoy baking. That's one of the reasons why I made this little video. It's not really a how-to. There are plenty of really good videos out on YouTube on how to bake bread and make bread, but baking bread is simple. It's not difficult, and I highly recommend you have a go at it. One of my fondest memories is making pizza dough and bread with my sister, and that was a happy time. And I hope you create your own happy times, making bread or pizza dough or even baking cakes. Anyway. Take care of yourself, and see you soon. Bye for now. And come back and watch the rest of the video. Unprofessional. Come on. God, 20 seconds is a long time when you're waiting for it. I'll be editing this obviously. Can't see your face anyway. And you're probably wondering why I'm doing this. And the simple question...